Hi guys, we're back. Still January, we're trying to keep it consistent. This is the Middle Eight podcast with my man Ricardo Williams, Cherry Vaughan, Cherry V or Cherry V.
Like
anything you like. My girl Cherry V, and myself, Jermaine Riley. We have some prevalent topics to discuss today. The fire's lit, things has come out fresh. We have to give our little takes on it. And yeah, it's exciting times, man. It's all right day. I mean, looks like a standard UK overcast.
Right, basically.
But we're here, we're alive, got our teas and our hardo breads and whatever Cherry was eating.
What was
yogurt?
What was he eating, Cherry?
I wasn't eating anything. I was just having a little spoonful of coffee.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, what are we saying? First of all, sorry, before we deep dive, how is everyone doing?
I'm really
better
well.
than last time?
Huh?
Better than last time.
What happened last time? What did I miss?
Shots fired!
Dark clouds and depression.
Yeah, I wasn't really feeling myself last week, but I feel a bit better this week.
Nice. Good.
It's so mad when you don't look like how you feel. Because last time you looked beautiful. Red hat was in tow.
But do you know what I feel like? I don't know if it's a defense mechanism. I don't know why. I don't even want to digress. But culturally, when I feel worse is when I will turn up even more.
Right.
Because I want to make myself feel like, and I've always been taught to do that. And especially in the face of being around certain spaces, certain energies that are not positive, either turn up, show up, turn up yourself. And I don't even know if that's a good the surviving mechanism, but sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I'm feeling better. Feeling better this week. Just been having fun. This episode of Talk That Talk on Amazon Prime Video came out.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I was watching that this morning, Cherry. That's so sick, man.
Thanks. And I was a featured performer on there. So that was really, really fun with Miss
amazing.
Audrey from podcast, Queen Mojo, a few queens in the game. So yeah, I've just been out here doing my thing, trying to do my thing. Ricardo?
Doing it.
I'm all right, I'm just there. The days and weeks just seem to blur into one at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Kind of back. After that Christmas break, it takes a while to kind of get back into things. And then once you kick in, it's like, okay, this is it. Yeah, this is it until Christmas again, at the end of the year. So I just feel like everything's sort of back up and running. There's a lot of things that man's billing up in the background. You get me?
Has been all quiet and stuff. I see you, bro. Don't check. Man, see.
Yeah, things in the background. So yeah, man. Hopefully, at some point, I can share and not be as tired as I am. But I'm good, man. Like I said last week, I'm still creating music, planning for some releases this year. Really excited about. But apart from that, man, I'm good, man.
Jermaine?
Yeah, Jermaine.
Brother, listen. My life, I'm just a hobbit right now. I'm just head down, drawing, so my eyes burn out. Well, my eyes aren't really burning out, and this isn't a sponsored post, but I want to need to get some blue light glasses because I notice the difference when I'm not wearing my glasses because I draw 4 hours at a time, whether it's a logo, my own comic book stuff I'm working on. But I always, if I forget to wear them, I always need eye drops afterwards because my eyes are dried out. And when I tell you, I can just keep going. I leave the house when I go on, because obviously we travel, we look at our phones. I go for my long walks and I'm looking at my phone and whatnot. I don't really take them off. Thankfully, they look fashionable enough for you to not know what they are.
So wait, what is that? Is it a Specsavers thing or an Amazon thing?
Amazon.
Blue light glasses.
Yeah, it just blocks the blue light from damaging. Say it again.
Because I got prescribed. I wear prescription glasses, but I never heard of this blue light thing before.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even for sight. It's just to block the blue light from burning your retinas.
Okay.
Because they show you the test on the thing, and it shows what it's doing to the paper, which is the equivalent of your eyes.
Yeah. You know what? That's probably why my retina's so thin. Sorry. Yeah, that's what they said to me anyway.
On the screen all the time, innit?
They said to me, they thought, why am I doing this personal thing on the Zoom? Anyway, go on.
this is what the people want to know. This is what the people want to know.
Just quickly, they said to me that they look like they've seen first signs of glaucoma for me, but because my retina is so thin.
Right.
After they sent me to the list twice, but it's probably because I'm needing them blue light glasses.
You need to trust me. It's like, I was never an eye drop person, but for time when I first got my iPad and I started drawing and stuff all the time, so I need eye drops, and I'm thinking it's the long hours, and in Glenn's house he's got the TV covers the whole wall, and I said to her, I think after the first night that we stayed there and was just up watching TV, I was like, I can't see today, like my eyes is like, my retinas are burnt. And we're just thinking it's the power of the television, but it's anything in it, like it's screen time, it's phones, it's TV or whatever, like. And I would just recommend everyone get some blue light glasses. That's off subject. But yeah, I'm just working, just drawing. We're trying to, like I said, last time we're trying to launch in July. So it's mad. It's really mad, like speaking to different people that we want to get involved on board in terms of the launch and the things that need to be in place for something that not everyone, there's not like a blueprint, because how many guys out here have released comic books and stuff like that. So we're just trying to do it like legit and officially, and just getting our head around that, and like having to, EPKs and presentation packs and all that.
PowerPoint stuff.
Yeah, like just trying to make it look like money, So it's basically been my week since, what's it been? It's been a week, 2 weeks since it's been a week.
It's been a week, man. It's been a week.
It's just something like you said, the days are just blurring into each other. Yeah. But thankfully, we've been given content to talk about. We want to talk about the doc, the long-awaited Salacious. No, it wasn't really Salacious. We didn't really find out nothing super exclusive, I feel.
I'm so glad that you said that. I thought, I don't want to sound like a hater.
Right.
Nah.
Jesus.
It was, you know what it was? For, like what you're saying, it was very like Jackson's. Like they show you what you're allowed to see. Like when Michael Jackson, I'm gonna give you an insight into my life, but you ain't seeing the real things. But it was still good. I still enjoyed it. There was still some things like I didn't even know. You know what? Sorry to interrupt. It was good to see her personality. I don't think I've really kind of, maybe outside of one or two interviews, like get glimpses of her personality. And it was good. Like when she's talking about Michael, she's talking about her dad. Like it was like, oh, there's Janet. Like I didn't know you were in there. I didn't know you were. She's an entertainer. You know, the old school entertainer.
Yeah.
Really good at putting on this facade, this kind of like, I'm an entertainer and this is who you see. You're never going to see me. And that's all you see with the Jacksons. But and I was like, oh, she's in there. It was nice, man.
But it's royalty we're dealing with, isn't it? So that's what I'm saying. She has to, everything's train up, everything's listen, everyone has the same nose. Everyone must, have that type.
I'm logging out.
You said everyone has the same nose.
Actually logged out. Janet, I'm very sorry for Jermaine's otherness.
All I'm saying, and I'm not trying to start no scandal, right? All I'm saying is that Michael changed his nose when Thriller dropped, right? And all of a sudden, every, like, what's it called? What did Beyonce say? Michael Jackson nostrils. There was no Michael Jackson nostrils after Thriller through the whole family. Everyone was just like, cool, we're all going to go to the same surgeon and sort the situation out. Because if I'm the biggest name out here and my nose looks like this, everyone must get a little nip and tuck, you know?
Well, it's a family business, isn't it?
It's a family business. The brand, you have to brand up the thing. So that's all I'm saying.
You know what? Go on.
Go on.
Oh, because I was not talking about the nose anymore. I was talking about something else.
No, I wasn't talking about the nose. I was just talking about her personality. I feel like when there's a clip or like a teaser, see when she first sees the mural at the beginning of them on the wall. I thought it was going to be like that throughout. So we would see more of her day to day, like cut between obviously the story and everything, but more of her day to day. So we'd see her, you know, see how she really deals with people on a regular thing, outside of like a PR type, you know, curated type of environment. I thought she was going to be like throwing shade and just more busting joke and these types of things like that. Because we had to wait so long for a Janet documentary, I feel like we were going to see a different version of her other than what we know. But at the same time, it's the Jackson name and it's like so difficult. And she's obviously had to, over the past however many years, she's been doing damage control. So I don't think she could really, you know, go all out and just start acting reckless. And she's got Pitney now, and she's married to, or she's connected via the Pitney with a billionaire and all these types of things. So, yeah.
You know what was mad to me as well? Like, I think it was more about the beginning for me that lashed me about like the whole family business, them having a show in Vegas. Like back then, that was a gigantic thing. That's gigantic. Yeah. And I think that was nice to see and be reminded of the foundations, because I wasn't aware of that part about the Vegas show.
And as deep as that,
a whole TV production thing, like centered around them, and also maybe want to go to their childhood house. That I loved seeing that. I loved seeing them go to the childhood house and to see how they were living, like the fact that the yard's still there with certain things in place. I think it was. I felt two ways about the fact that she never said anything negative about anyone. So I'm just like, is she just generally like quite clean-hearted, or is it just like very media trained PC kind of vibe? I was like, the whole Jermaine Dupri, I really wanted to hear.
Nah, we're digging into that.
Yeah, because I was just like,
what are you doing, Jermaine Dupri, you know, it's not like, no, and I'm not even throwing shade. It's not like you were like
throwing shade, bro.
Tyson Beckford or
everyone knows.
One of them man dead. I like,
bro. When it comes to Jermaine, I think he knows as well. Because I would know.
As Jamaican says, you're lucky.
You're lucky because
cheating. What?
Your charisma. Do you know what it was?
Man.
My boyfriend said very, very had a very acute observation in regards to that. She just wanted someone who wasn't on drugs.
And you know what? She just wanted a very lovely black man.
Right.
That's it. It's true.
By which point,
she wanted black children.
It's true.
This is it, man. If you've been run into the ground with every 5 minutes someone's on drugs, you're like, do you know what? That's his saving grace that the previous man was on drugs.
Right.
Because obviously Jermaine's he's a living legend, isn't it? But you know you're punching king. Do you get me? Like
100,
you know, as well, the fact that all she was begging him for was time.
This is it.
Nothing else.
And that's a true testament to when two people meet and they're at different stages of their life.
Yeah.
Because obviously she'd hustled and worked her whole life and she was comfortable. And as much as Jermaine Dupri is so successful, he was still in that chasing mode of whatever was going on. In terms of production, I guess the production game, I don't know, it's like you keep chasing till you just, I don't know, it depends what your heart is and what your goals are. But it's just a true testament to people just meeting and they're in love, but they're just in two different spaces, how it could go wrong. But she was begging you for time, bro.
That's
just
all
Janet Jackson was. Janet Jackson said.
Janet
and all
Jackson.
Of her abs and body and bunda and
right
the face, and she was just begging you for a little time, and he was going to the strip club.
Janet Jackson was asking to make time.
Wild,
there's no one that would not understand if you said, cool, session's done, bro, I gotta go to. There's no one that wouldn't understand. Jermaine can only work from 12 till 5 today.
But I guess, you know what? It's deep, it's so deep because obviously there's probably going to be an element of him that don't want to lose himself as well.
Yeah.
The pressure of it all,
getting caught up in your, your Janet Jackson, you're buff, like you're lovely, you're every man's dream, but also I need to stay on my thing. So it's a catch-22.
It is because you're right. Easily he's swallowed up, like he's just Janet's husband. You're not Jermaine Dupri anymore. You're just
I have to have my thing open, otherwise I'm gonna feel like a fucking mouse.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna say I'm mascot. I'm a mascot.
Facts. It's true.
Oh, wild. That's wild. Do you think it was self-sabotage though? Like, because he made those choices. Like, if she's begging out for time and you go to check her, you're clearly in two different cities, and you get there, you're going to do other things. Like,
you see what happens?
Like self-sabotage, man.
See what happens? You see when a man feels like he's punching, or you're punching, and he gets the goal and he gets the prize. He wants our next prize. He said himself.
You really?
The fact that he was dating her made every woman go, oh.
Yeah. What is it? Like, what am I missing? Yeah.
Do you know what it is as well? Psychologically as well. To make a lot of guys, if they're punching, especially, or they have a woman who's intimidating or just doing well for herself or whatever. Obviously, Jay-Z is another example, let's be honest.
Who?
Jay-Z.
No.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you're with a powerful woman, regardless of your success and what you're doing, in certain circumstances, especially when the world and the globe is saying, what's she doing with him? Do you get me? Like, something in a man's thing is like, I have to do something to make myself feel. Do you get me? Like, and I feel like that's when
like my ego, have to do something to make myself.
I feel like psychologically, that's why men who are with successful and powerful women still step out, because it's like especially when you can't provide, you have that
wild, isn't it?
Gorilla instinct of, I still need to feel like I'm dominating something, and it's not going to be wifey at home. Do you get me?
Yeah, I totally get you, but I don't feel like that about Jay-Z though. I don't know why.
So Beyonce is annoying then?
No, I don't feel like she's annoying, but I just feel like obviously that she's insinuated that he's been out on the road and all that stuff, but like I just feel like he's such, in comparison to like the Jermaine Dupri thing, like he's such a boss, a monster, absolute authoritative stand-up dungargan. So I guess I'm just an outsider looking in. Like, he might have his own internal struggle.
That's what I'm saying. It's an internal thing.
Yeah.
it's like with Jermaine Dupri, by which time he's got Confessions, he's fully established, Bow Wow, all the things, like multi-platinum millionaire, all like he's got all the things. The respect level's there.
Jay-Z's in the front. You know why?
Yes,
because Jermaine Dupri's in the back, and Jay-Z's front line center, artist, headliner. So that's why I find it hard to see him in that way, I guess, maybe.
Do you know what's
go on, Jermaine.
Because it's the same thing when like maybe it's a level of like we look at certain pretty pictures and think, how could you fuck this up? But like I'm in terms of like Eric Benet and Halle Berry again. Do you get me?
That's another one. That's another one.
I'm not speaking of this.
Idiot. Oh, Derek is like, yeah, let's move on.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like when you're with the thing that everyone knows, bro. Like, how did you get that vibe? It's like something within the man says, this can't be my legacy.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. But you say that, yeah? You say that, but when he was talking, I think like the last couple sentences, when they before they moved on, you could tell there was regret. Like he says something like he's not a confrontational person, he doesn't really
yeah, definitely.
And maybe he could have fought a little bit harder and things would have like not turned out the way. And he was kind of insinuating that this is what he wanted and he should have fought for it. And if he did, they would still be together. So that says to me, like a lot, like, well, you knew, and then
he knew, but he didn't fight because like I said, it would just put him back in the position of my wife is Janet Jackson and not we're level. Do you get me? Because I don't care what you're doing, Mariah, whatever, you're not going to be level with what you're dealing with, especially physically. Let's be honest.
But does it matter? Like, does it matter?
What does what matter?
Not the physically part, but like that, like the unbalance or someone being like the superstar and you having to play.
I think it depends on the person's heart, innit? Because some men are cool, and some men they feel emasculated straight away. They feel.
Yeah. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. So I feel like, why would I fight to be emasculated? Because her thing's not dying down anytime soon. We're doing I'm hot, get me so excited. She's still banging out hits, bruv, and I'm just, what you talking about, shout it. Like,
you're an idiot, Jermaine. You came on smoke today. But why does it matter? Like, why does it matter that he's like, for Jermaine Dupri, why would it matter? What I tried to do yesterday was get into the psyche of it. Like, all right, say if my wife was Janet Jackson or Beyonce, like,
bro, it will cut your heart into
because it's already,
and every man is like, and you see, like, you're talking about man like Tyson Beckford, yeah? Tyson Beckford sending her flowers, bruv. Tyson Beckford's inviting her to Paris for lunch, bruv, yeah? Tell me that's not gonna nyam out your heart.
Yeah, but she ain't going. And you know, at the end of the night, it's you two in that bed. It's you clapping them cheeks, fam. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you've got real world evidence. It's not like, maybe she's stepping out. You know, she's there. It's you and her. You're riding. Like, what?
It's in here, though. It's in here, and it's in the male ego, bro.
Layers. It's layers. It's like imposter syndrome.
I hear that.
Because truly, if you feel like you can't get something and you get it, you're always gonna be like challenged with like, am I gonna lose it? Right. Do I deserve it? Am I being punked? Like, is this person just going for a phase and they're just gonna drop me next month? Like, so as Jermaine was saying earlier, you need to do something to stroke your ego. Yeah. I've seen it and experienced experienced it.
It's wild, man.
And believe.
Wild. Wild.
No matter what you do, no matter what
Yeah.
Jack Jackson might have said, "Oh, I love you, baby." I
love you, baby.
Trust me.
If
Trust me.
you can't feel the love and the unconditional love, you're gonna seek somewhere elsewhere to stroke your ego.
That validation, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if we're obviously on our level of media intake or whatever, but at that level when paparazzi is outside your house and you scroll on your phone and you know people are sending you this, that, whatever, and articles and every in culture, it's like, why are you doing that? Like, I would feel like, are you fucking mad? If people are saying, why am I even worthy of being that big?
It's mad if someone even says it on a personal level without media.
Right.
Family. If someone in your family says, "Oh," like if someone said to me, "Oh yeah, he could do better than Cherry." Whew.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you in the cheek.
Just allow it. But yeah, outside of we literally like deep dive the whole situation.
Nah, he needed that. He needed that.
Quincy had bare man.
He dropped the bag on that one.
Fumbled.
So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from James. Right. I don't even know what to say about James because, again, he was definitely punching, but it was that era of time when she hadn't found herself.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Barge might have had the hits on the radio. So at that time, it seems like a power couple vibe.
Yeah, they were hot.
Mm-hmm. It's so mad. When I was looking at it, all I could see was like the blusher. I was like, brother. I was like, you guys have got the same makeup set. Anyway, so James now.
Jermaine, what's wrong with you today?
What? I'm just here, man.
The same makeup set.
Watch it again. See if I'm lying.
No, I did clock it.
But yeah, he clearly, obviously, he wasn't one of the main DeBarges, innit? So he's obviously, look at us giving a psychological breakdown to everyone's demise. He wasn't, he must have been feeling some way insecure, and he's with, you know, Janet Jackson. And obviously her albums weren't doing well at that time, but she was still Janet Jackson, like Vegas, blah, blah, blah. And she was out here, do you get me? Like, Michael Jackson's my brother, you can't tell me shit. So, yeah, he turned to drugs.
He did, man.
When on the day of the marriage, he said, she left me for 3 hours.
Wow, didn't it? Wild.
To go where?
To go where? Where? You just got married.
You should be laying her down.
Wow, didn't it? Wow.
Oh, gosh, poor thing. But anyway, I'm glad she come out of that swiftly and said, listen, no, I can't do this. This can't be my story. And you know what I realized as well? As the youngest, I'm flip-flopping now, but as the youngest, she, like you said, Cherry, she didn't really speak bad about anyone, but I feel like as the youngest, she had a different experience from the older Jacksons, obviously, because she's the baby of the family.
Right.
So like, obviously when she's speaking about Joseph, she's speaking from a perspective where she wasn't getting licked down like Michael.
Yeah, she was the last one, innit? Yeah.
So she's just like, yeah, my father, if it wasn't for blah, blah, blah. And obviously, Michael said that, but Michael's saying that and Barlin at the same time, innit? Because there's a whole bunch of shit attached to his main, like, you're the driving force, listen, sing the note, or, do you get me? You're getting something different, do you get me? Like, sing it again, rehearsing again, blah, 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 blah. But with Janet, just like grandparents, they get softer as they get older, innit? So the discipline level, he might have been obviously training Janet and knowing what the levels are that we need to maintain for the family legacy and blah, blah, blah. But as a 7-year-old in Vegas, he's definitely not going to be doing none of that. Do you get me? So she's definitely had a different perspective on Joseph
than the rest of them. Yeah.
Why did I say that again?
Yes and no, I think, though.
Talk up, Cherry. Talk up.
Go on.
She spoke about the fact that when she's on the Control album, she was moving away from his grasp in it, and him literally orchestrating every part of her career. And she just going to the studio and just singing the songs and going home. No attachment, no say, opinion. But you know what? It was a lot, but I did take away from that. Like, you see, and after watching that film, obviously Sir Richard, and I'm also listening to Taraji's book around. You see, when you have a father with a vision, it's powerful, you know. A present father with a vision is so powerful. Like, he actually gave her whole life, legacy, livelihood, everything, because he saw, he was a visionary for her. Same with Williams. Matthew Knowles, the Williams dad. Taraji, her dad was the same. Like, they said, Taraji's dad in the book one time looked at her after she had her son and was like, all right, why are you not in LA? Go to LA. Why are you here doing a full-time job? Get on the plane and get to LA and get it auditioning. What's how you doing? And he spoke to her really harshly, but because of the figure he was in her life and what that represents, it will put a rocket up her backside.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to see, like, especially Black fathers playing that role and it being highlighted, and and Janet honoring that as well, because that was beautiful.
That was definitely one of the things I felt like was good to see, was her realizing, even though it was light and dark in it, like, you can't have good without the bad, and she realized that even though he was tough on me, and there were things that I would change about maybe that father-daughter relationship, I'm still who I am because of that discipline and that vision that he had for me. And she kept honoring it,
I just feel like it was easier for her to honor it because the discipline was a different type of discipline. There's a part in there, I mean, what I just mean is just like, in terms of it coming across like abusive as opposed to motivational.
Right.
There was an interview part where they said, Michael, what happens when Michael doesn't blah, blah, and he looked at Michael and he kind of didn't know what to say. The punishment was. And it was like,
we all know it wasn't about
his allowance.
Allowance. It was, no. Michael, you can see Michael looking down like,
Michael's like, allowance? I wish it was allowance, brother.
Right. Yeah, take my money, fam. Don't box me in my face again.
Oh my life. That was very telling, that moment. It was very awkward. It's kind of like the interviewer knew that we're getting licked down. So she wanted to prod.
Yeah.
But hey.
Superstars.
You can't make an omelette without... No, I'm joking. What was I going to say?
But do you know what really hurt me in that documentary? When she spoke about the Scream video.
Yeah, man.
That hurt me, you know.
Same.
That hurt me.
Same.
Like, I thought, how can you be born and raised in the same house, same parents, and then your life just go like that?
Yeah.
This is why when these type of circumstances, why I ain't got money or like super successful, because I thought to myself, the way I'll be mashing up that set, you know, because you're trying to
you idiot.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube City I would have come in the next day I'm gonna say, listen, when Michael gets here, yeah, try me when Michael gets here. If you want to cut me out of the thing, I sat down, Michael down, and I wrote the verse with him. First of all, I'm the hot one out here right now. I'm trying to save his Clark, right?
First of all, you know. First of all,
he said, I'm the hot one right now.
And it's like, when we grew up, this is my blood, you know. This isn't like label, blah, blah. This is out of everyone. If everyone here, if an asteroid was coming to be me and Michael together, we going out together. Do you get me? Like, you're trying to act like we ain't, this not the same blood running through our veins. You're trying to cut me off and I can't. We was in the studio last week recording the thing.
We were
wrote the fucking song.
Warm.
This is
warm.
This is mad. You know what was wild as well? Like,
mad.
The fact that he knew that she was doing him a favor. That Michael knew that. Michael, it wasn't like, oh, I'm just doing this tune with my sister, and this is like he knew that she was there to do him a favor, and he knew that it was her way of showing him the ultimate support. Like, I'm here for you. I'm putting myself on the line and my reputation to say, whatever accusations are out there, I'm standing by you. And for that to go down, man, I could see how crushed she was. Like, she basically said, I did not have to be here. I didn't have to do this for you.
Yeah.
This is how you repay me. It was tough. It was tough, man. And
the
worst thing about it's such a tune. Like, it's mad that there's so much of that emotion in there that you just didn't, you don't see it. You just see an amazing video. You see brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
You don't see that. It was wild, man. That story of
there's a lot to factor in that scenario. There's obviously, you know, Michael's well aware that he's in hot water around that period of time. But then obviously there's the I'm Michael Jackson thing. There's the fact that they're both amazing actors, because you could not tell that was the vibe at all. Like
mad.
In terms of like I just feel like it was there's so many layers to that circumstance. And even like when she said, you know, when she was on set, like I thought it was going to be like, you know, old times or whatever, and it wasn't. But you have to factor in the stuff that he must have been trying to go through at that point, like having to work, knowing what the tabloids are saying about you, and people are looking at you a certain way, and there's still the Michael Jackson, oh my gosh level of it all. And it's just a lot, man. He's the biggest thing ever. Like, not excusing it, because I thought to myself, Michael, you can't see that there's a divide. There's a
right.
panel.
That's what I was. That's what I was like.
Let watch the thing now. You can't.
Why intervened at this point?
Like, yeah, I was wondering, like, Michael can't. Why would you even allow that to happen? The label was saying.
The what? The label wasn't in the same room. Label.
I'm paying for all of this, brethren.
Right.
7 million.
Yeah.
7 million.
7 million. And you know, back then that was madness, because I remember it coming out, and that was like one of the biggest talking points. Like, this is the most expensive music video ever.
3 day. She said, I think she said 3 day. Oh, it was a 3 day thing, and I thought she was up there. She's like, oh, I just went on for like a week or whatever. I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's a movie,
basically.
And then how he was talking to her in the studio, and them thinking that, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're talking to, you know,
I'm here doing you a favor, fam.
Man's upset is like, don't talk about no.
When it was on the bed, writing it, it was so like, it just reminds, because obviously my brother sings as well. If you guys didn't know, the audience didn't know,
really?
But like, it's just like that relationship of like, what are we saying? What are we gonna blah blah blah? Like when we work together, and me being the older one, and me being like, oh, if you just say this, and I want it to have that. It felt that's what I could see when I was watching them. Kind of like she's writing, and he sat on the bed. It's like, I just need that fire and blah. Like it was just really like, yeah, that was a nice moment to see. If it was like one of the last moments that they ever had like that.
He was so own way as well, and it was telling her to give her the same voice as Black Cat. When he said that, oh yeah, that makes sense. But he heard it. He wanted it a certain way, boy.
He did.
Yeah, it's my that era of time. It was never not gonna come out like. He was never not gonna come out like that vibe. You get me? Like,
you know what? I don't know if they played. I don't know if it was like proper isolated vocals. When they said how he just went into the studio and just did the whole verse top to bottom, the whole song top to bottom. When they played those isolated vocals, I was like, this is why Michael Jackson is the king of the world.
He's the master of doing him. I
was sat there like, what? If I went in the booth, you would have heard a couple. They'd have been like, nah, top. Can we take that from the top? He was killing it.
Master of him. Master.
And he's and the thing is, like they said, he's dancing in there as well.
Yeah.
Like,
can you imagine witnessing that?
Nah, it must have been mad. This is why
he doesn't sing like anyone, innit? Doesn't sing like
him. He's him.
I sing him now, but I mean, he doesn't sing like anyone, and he mastered that. I don't even know. Masters sounds like an understatement to say. Just how he done his thing.
He was just fully himself, like you said. Like there was no one. He wasn't trying to be no one. There was like he was just him, and that's what made it amazing. Isn't it? He just went in there. I was like, yeah. And same with Janet, man. Like,
you know what's so ironic about is that we've obviously, because Michael's Michael, like, and this is the same thing that used to piss her off, is that we've just veered onto Michael Jackson, and that's what they used to do to her back in the day. He's talking about an album. Oh yeah, so Michael Jackson's religious beliefs. Can we talk about that?
We're here talking about my tour now. Do you know what? You know what lashed me as well? Saying that, I didn't realize how successful Janet Jackson was. Like when they started going through and when they inducted her into the Hall of Fame and was saying some of her numbers, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
180 million albums.
The highest selling debut tour ever to this day. Like no one is chatting to Rhythm Nation to this day. Do you know how much tours there's been with big people?
If we're talking about verses, the only one that could verse Michael is Janet.
Yeah, to be honest. But even still,
yeah,
Michael's catalogue is a bit mad. Michael's catalogue is too bad, guys. Let's just be honest. It's too bad. Just allow it, innit? But yeah. Yeah, it's just it was a journey.
Do you know what? So sorry, lastly, two other lashes for me. Just the backlash that she got from the accusations against him.
Yeah. That was bad.
And how she was treated after the Justin Timberlake Super Bowl incident was heartbreaking. Because
that still rattles me. What I felt like they didn't really explain what happened, because when you watch it back, and for me, I'm like,
that's what pissed me off as well. That's what pissed me off as well.
Because there's no way Justin would have just decided to rip off your things if that wasn't in the plan. It would have been better if you said, you know what, the plan was there was going to be something underneath and it would have been a bit provocative and it failed, but they didn't really explain why it happened. What I'm saying.
Guys, why the biggest scandal in terms of NFL history or whatever, right. Why wouldn't you say the plan was, why wouldn't you show us the designs of the dress and stuff like that so we knew what the reveal was going to be, if there was going to be one? Like, because my man's not gripping and pulling away for no reason.
For no reason, like that's...
And the lyric.
Right. Have you naked by the end of the
song. This is what I'm saying. So there had to be something in there. And it would have been easier just to say, you know what, this was the plan and it failed. Cool, we get it.
Then that's
it. Over it like, oh my God, he like.
They just kept going to the scandal of it all, like, oh my gosh, the ratings and blah, 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 they're taking us to court. But no one still explained what the plan was. And I know she didn't want Justin to say anything, but sorry, no one could say that to me. Don't say nothing. Let me take the thing of it as a black woman. And me, who's literally been appropriating since Mickey Mouse Club, I'm not going to take it upon myself as a man to be like, do you know what, guys? With my white privilege, I'm not going to chat to Uno and be like, are you guys fucking mad? This is Janet Jackson we're dealing with. And I've come on with my house clothes on her NFL halftime show. No haircut, wearing whatever.
Yeah, I thought that.
My song. Yeah. And she's the legend. She's done her whole thing, and I've come on at the end and shag up her whole thing, and I'm going home free of charge.
And I'm still going to the Grammys and
Grammys. Yeah, it was wild. That was wild.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like even that. It's like, where's Janet? Janet's not here. Well, I'm not coming either. Do you get me? There was no statement. There was no like
unity. No unity.
There was no, as a man who's definitely benefited from his association with her,
100%.
been influenced by her 100%. Family, her brother, whatever, from the culture, whatever. You should have. There's no one that can tell me that you shouldn't have at that point, bro, have done something to help, regardless of whatever grass Clark conversations you've had with her. She's told you, blah, blah, blah. She's gonna say that, bro.
Yeah.
What she's gonna say to you, throw yourself under the bus because I'm dying out here. She's not gonna say that. So you should know, you should put out your PR statements or whatever, or every interview should be like, I'm sorry, but we don't need to you get me? Like, there's nothing. You're out here, first album, doing your run, doing your tour. Her vocals is on your first album, bro.
Yeah.
And he's probably been advised not to anyway, because obviously he didn't want to get blacklisted by the powers that be if he shunned or snubbed the Grammys or whatever.
Yeah, it's a delicate time and all these politics of blah, blah, blah. It's your first album and don't care.
Just do the right thing, innit? Just do the right thing, man.
Do the right thing, because I have to look my girl in her face.
It's mad. It's mad. Yeah, man. They definitely scared, and that was another reminder that this is a Jackson documentary. Like, we're getting what they want to show us, like, rather than like the truth.
Yeah. Can we touch upon I didn't realize she was with Renee for so long.
Did I?
Yeah, me neither.
I thought
I didn't know
it was the end of it. Like, I didn't realize it was from Wedday.
Yeah, man. He was carrying on like Instagram was a thing back then.
He was
filming every last thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna post it. You don't even know where this is going. He was filming everything. Couldn't even have a moment with her mom.
Yeah, that was annoying, isn't it? That was annoying.
I was like, brother, like, I get it, but again, drugs, innit? Like, he had no gauge on the limitation.
Drugs is one thing, but opportunities are next thing. Because when you lot was ready to get divorced, you wanted to claim.
That pissed me off. So I was like, what? You were claiming what?
Right, and you was really and truly, you was trying to line up your pocket with all this filming. I've got footage. I've got the gold. So I'm going to have this as leverage against you. Probably had to buy all of that as well.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Mad.
Definitely.
It makes you think, like, when someone moves like that, it makes you think, what was we doing then? Was this love or not? Or
the whole time?
Yeah, was you just waiting in the cut for, like, when
he was living vicariously through her?
100%, 100%.
Got the biggest gig, mate,
of his life.
I'm not going to get bigger than this. I'm styling my girl. I'm walking with her. I've got my little suit when we're going to the Star of Hollywood and all these things, you know? Like, that's the biggest bring-in that you could have, bro. Because there's a lot of couples that do different things, but she's brought you into her world. There's no gig that you're going to get bigger than Janet Jackson, especially her at that time. Like, there's no one you could be taking pictures for. There's no one creative direction you could be doing that's bigger than Janet Jackson.
Yeah. You know what I liked about that as well, about the documentary? like Janet successfully rebranding. I know we touched on this last week. I don't know who was it changing the name. Oh yeah, was talking about money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going from that sort of sweet childhood innocent girl into like the kind of more sexual adult grown woman Janet, it was sick to see, you know. It was like really, because obviously the industry tells you that once you're one way, that's it. Like,
yeah,
you ain't coming back from who you are. You can't change that. So it was good to see that she made that transition really seamlessly. And you like the two don't feel at odds. Like you don't feel, it's not like Pink, who one day was R&B and the next day she was like,
yeah.
So it was like, okay, this makes sense. The way they did it was nice, man. It was nice to see that you can just decide to, I want to change. I want to be me, and I want to let that be my identity, and not some kind of drive thing. So it was good, man. I enjoyed seeing that. Man.
It's the same Christina Aguilera when she done the dirty thing. Buttocks was out in the video, all these types of madnesses. Rihanna.
She was too quick. It was
whoa.
She was too quick. It was like,
she went from pop princess to gutter.
Literally.
Red man on the tune and everything.
That's what I'm saying. It's like just warm us up a little. Do you know what I mean? Like,
lock that off.
First video, just drop the top a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Then
she said, give me the black extensions.
Nah, man,
the black French tip nails. I want to go. I'm out of here. Don't even associate me with that.
Red man.
Dancing in mud or them.
That's what I'm saying, man. She went for it, boy.
Well, obviously Rihanna's the same thing, innit? Like as soon as good girl
Rihanna,
bad.
Rihanna's transition felt a little bit more.
Hers was more edgy, innit?
Yeah, and then she moved into it kind of made sense that, but Christina Aguilera, she just like night and day, man. Today I'm doing Genie. What was that song? Come and me out. What was that song?
Yeah.
If you wanna be with me.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. All of this.
I'm a genie in a bottle. You're me the right way. Whoa. Them ones.
Hey.
See? Yeah, man. That's funny.
But yeah, man, sometimes you have to rebrand it.
This is it.
Michael did it, to be fair. Michael did it as well.
Rebranded your whole face. Rebranded your whole face.
Rebranded your whole face. Do you know what? Quickly, yeah, psychologically, if Michael, was the same dark skin that he was in Thriller, and I know the answer to this question already, but like, I don't think people realize that if he was the same Thriller chocolate that he was, right? And he had them allegations against his name, he would be under the jail. Do you get me? Like, when you deep the psychology of the colorism of it all, like, even for Caucasian people, like, we allowing this, like, there's no way if that was a black man, visibly black,
right,
that he would have got away with it.
Well, OJ got away with it, so
Nah, but that was different.
Yeah, but I just mean like to continue to be Michael Jackson and blah 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 blah. Like, OJ was done out here after that, innit?
No, but they were still on him. They were still on him. They never let off with OJ. Like, they knew that he got away with it. They never let off.
But with Michael, it's like, I feel like
you're right.
That thing, him being very light,
or presenting as white,
presenting as that, it's almost like he had the foresight to know that I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need this asset going forward. Did you hear about how he got his nose like that? What first happened?
No.
He didn't like his nose for, obviously he said his dad used to poke fun at him or whatever, used to think he was Butters. And even after he had the acne that cleared up, but he was in rehearsal, slipped, fell, broke his nose on a table or something like that, literally manifested the reconstruction of his biggest thing that he was conscious about. And it's just like, if that's not like, you know, like when we have these insecurities and someone was, and you think about it day in, day out, like what are the chances? When's the last time you heard someone broke their nose in a rehearsal?
Right. I hear what you're saying. Don't believe it.
It sounds like a very Michael Jackson story. It's like,
what, in terms of like him falling and breaking his nose?
Yeah, he just wanted to get his nose done and he did it. And then he kept doing it.
Well, there we have it. I can't confirm or deny.
got like just call him up.
No one can. Just
have
people there.
Wild? I don't know if you saw this. You know, Randy.
Yeah.
He kept.
I know what you're gonna say.
He kept calling Joe like. Sometimes he called him dad.
That's your dad.
Your father.
Yeah, your dad. Yeah.
And then other times he referenced someone else as your brother, and not. And I was like, wait a minute, am I missing something? Or
yeah, I literally, as soon as he said your dad, I thought, oh my gosh, they've got different thingies. I did that immediately, right? But then I remember that sometimes black people do that in some, like, you know, that's your daddy, right? You know, that you get me like,
right.
Yeah, I feel like he was doing that. It was like, whatever you thought of your dad, this is who your dad was, you know, like, because you have to remember, she was the fact that he's explaining how the house was set up, and me and Thingy, she didn't remember, she was a baby.
Yeah.
So he's breaking it down to her like, me and your brothers and blah, 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 like, you get me, like, so I feel like he was just using that as a referential type of thing.
I was like,
yeah, I thought that as well. Like, is he the one on the side? But yeah, man. So she got, and then I love how she didn't show Pitney, and after showing all the husbands and deeping out all the husbands, the last husband said, "Listen,
happening.
I'm not signing off on this."
Yeah. You don't see in my face, and you don't show my child's face.
I'm not signing off on this. All right. So you can have your little documentary. But I think they're not together now.
Oh, is it?
I think that's what it is, yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't even.
No one knows who he is.
Well,
no one knows who he is, isn't it?
Yeah,
got the Pitney. Could be a donor for all we know. Do you get me? We don't know. It's a Jackson thing. It's another Jackson mystery. But yeah, man, for someone who's, I realized I deep that in, when she done, what video was it? She done, I think it was Scream. Was it Scream? No, it was All For You album.
Yeah.
She was
Night Professor. Is it for that song?
Yeah. How old is she now? 50, 51?
50 something, yeah.
So that was 2000, right? So she was like 30, 31. 30, whatever. Do you get me? Wow. But at the time, it's like, because she's started from so long ago, I thought she was like in her 40s, like that era of time. Do you get me? She was only 30, you know?
Yeah. Even when ran through that first album, she was like 17 or like 18. I was like, what?
Bro. So I'm thinking, as I'm watching All For You and all that, I'm thinking, bro, this is a grown-ass Angela Bassett type situation that I'm looking at. But she's in her prime, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, when we're watching Rhythm Nation and all them, she's literally a Pitney.
Yeah, like early 20s, isn't it? Or even maybe in teens, late teens.
Because I'm thinking 30 years, you was at 30 years old when she was on that VMA performance doing choreo from top to bottom. I'm thinking, rah, this grown woman's got, she's 30 years old, guys. Like, it's not even that deep. You get me? Like, we've just lost, because how young they started, we've lost scope of how old anyone is.
This is a bit of time. It's true, man.
But yeah, man, she's absolutely incredible. Didn't realize that all the albums were so consecutively successful. Certainly till after the breast come out, she didn't get a number one debut.
That was another thing that was wild to me, you know, like when you get so high, success is so skewed because number two is still like an achievement. Do you know what I mean? Like it's still like it's not a loss. Number two is still not a loss, and it's just a number in the chart. Do you know what I mean? For that week or whatever, you're still got sold out tours. You still got all of those offers coming in. It's wild, man. But
she's still Janet.
This is it. This is it. The one thing that documentary did do for me, which I didn't know, was really explain and show how successful Janet is and how much like living legend status she actually has. Like that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Because we forget.
Man. Like we was talking about last week, isn't it? When we were just saying, when someone's out there doing what they're doing, you just start to ignore them after a while because that's who they are and that's what they do. And you just don't take it in the same way. It's wild. It's wild.
But yeah, guys, watch it on whatever you can watch it on. I know it's on Sky. I know it's on Now TV. But yeah, it's a 4-hour situation. Janet Jackson is what it's called. It's not called Janet Jackson. The history of there's none of that. Do you get me? It's Janet Jackson documentary. Deep that. She's amazing. She still looks absolutely incredible. Like for a big woman.
She does.
That's definitely fluctuated. Do you get me? Like they need to deep that as well. Tell us about Monica Lewinsky. No, you need to tell us how you was ballooning, got this 8-pack, went back up, went back down. Like
money,
you didn't touch upon the weight.
Money. Money. when you got P's like that, you can hire 12 PTs and a whole chefing system.
But show that, man, that was a big talking point in her career. Like, how is she doing it?
Janet Jackson,
stuff like that. You get me? Like, so we're not going to get another we're not going to get next documentary.
That was it. That was Janet's legacy, man. That thing was 5 years. She was intentional about that. She was like, documenting this, and this is going to be my thing, my story, and that's it. That's what you man are getting.
Showing you how all the men in my life shake my thing.
Drugs. Drugs.
Every turn. So yeah, deep that Janet documentary. It's amazing. Listen, Tinder swindler.